Let's hear a tune before we talk to her. She's playing live for us. Emma McGann. This is a song called Party Trick.
I got your invitation when it hit my door. You play me with temptation, you reel me in some more. I'm losing concentration, all because of you. You've got me fooled, you've got me fooled. And I SVP when I want to let you know when I arrive, saving my last dance for you, boy. You're VIP for the night, 'cause you've got a party trick for me. I fell for you so easily before you vanish magically. Do your party trick for me. You're gonna keep me guessing until you get your way. Don't have my mother's blessing, but baby, that's okay. My heart's the one that's stressing, it beats for you each day. Take me away, boy, take me away. I SVP when I want to, I'll let you know when I arrive, saving your VIP for the night, 'cause you've got a party trick for me. I fell for you so easily before you vanish magically. Do your party trick for me. Oh, 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 oh. SVP when I want to, I'll let you know when I arrive, saving my last dance for you, boy. You're VIP for the night, 'cause you've got a party trick for me. I fell for you so easily before you vanish magically. Do your party trick for me. You've got a party trick for me. I fell for you so easily before you vanish magically. Do your party trick for me. Oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Do your party trick for me.
Oh, my life. Emma, come round and see us in the studio. That is absolutely amazing. The hugely talented Emma McGann. She stopped the building and I looked across at Kevin, my producer, at one point, and I think she's broke him. I think she's melted Kevin, my producer. Emma, sit down, because she was playing in another room for us this morning. Oh, man.
Hello.
I knew it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be that good. That was incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know nothing about you other than, obviously, you've done stuff for BBC Introducing and you've been doing that kind of stuff. I was just looking on your website while I was listening to that beautiful song, which we'll talk more about in a second. Talent shows and open mics was where it all started for you, is that right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Around the local area. I started out playing open mics when I was about 18. I did talent shows and different things like that since I was younger, you know, and I just really enjoyed it, found that I had a good passion for it, so I decided to carry it on.
Started the guitar at what age? What age were you playing guitar?
I actually didn't start learning until I was about 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite late, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I wish I'd actually learned when I was a lot younger. I would be a lot better.
Although, having said that, it isn't about the musicianship, it's about the ability to be able to write with your instrument as well. I presume all the stuff that you write is with guitar, is it?
Yeah, well, mostly. A lot of my earlier stuff I just wrote on guitar. I've started to kind of branch out now and, you know, compose on piano and things like that. So, yeah, but first off, it all started on guitar.
And do you worry? I mean, and I'll be the first to admit this, because far be it from me to be two-faced with anybody, but this female singer-songwriter thing that's been going on, this vibe that's been going on for about the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it turns me off. There is something about what you do that seems to be so different. And and this is interesting hearing the song you recorded for us with the full band. Do you worry that kind of, you get pigeon? Oh, yes, she's the girl with the guitar, singer-songwriter. You think, not another one, kind of thing. Is that a problem?
Well, not so much. I guess maybe it was for me at a point, because I started out on guitar and I did all these open mics, and it got to a point where it was like, I do want to do something different because there's so many other girls doing exactly the same as I am. I kind of want to stand out. To
varying degrees of success and varying abilities as well. It has to be said, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I decided to take my music down a kind of commercial pop route, but kind of try to do it independently. So get that commercial edge to my music, but kind of learn to do that myself.
Because it's interesting, we were talking last week about the difference with having your own, but, you know, if you've got a band behind you, but obviously, of course, all of that costs. It costs you in time as well, because you have to rehearse with the band. You have to get across to them what you want to do with because it's still your music and your song at
That's
the end of the day.
Luckily, I have some very good friends who perform in my band, and, you know, they do me lots of favours and they're lovely. So,
do you know what I always think as well? It took me a while to get to this and talk to lots and lots of artists, and I thought, actually, I used to think, my first reaction was, who do they sound like?
Yeah.
And if they sounded like somebody, it kind of gave you a bit of comfort. But then I realised that the reality is that you don't want to sound like any. You want to sound like you. So you want to be able to listen to that and go, that's Emma.
Yeah. You need to be unique.
How easy is that to find your own voice and not be... Because you must have role models, mustn't you?
It's not very easy. Like, there's been times when people are like, oh, you sound like this person. I'm like, oh, do I?
I've got to work
That's not
on
what
that.
I was aiming for, but yeah.
Do you have a role? I mean, if you were to sort of be shepherded into a route, into a you know, an avenue, a style of music, or a genre or particular type of artist, where would you be with that?
I would be commercial pop all the way. In the same, well, I'm aiming for the same realms as high as it might sound, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, that kind of, you know, level.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to do it on my own and see how far I get with it. And, you know, I'm trying to break away from the singer-songwriter female who turns up with an acoustic guitar and an open mic and things like that. I'm trying to get into the venues, you know, that are catering for a pop audience. So, you know, younger people. I'm doing a school tour next week. What's
that going to be? What does that mean? You're going to just go along and play for them?
Yeah. So I'll be performing at schools around the UK from next week onwards, and it's an opportunity to perform my songs to the students, but also talk to them about certain people. About what they want to do, if they want to take music on themselves. So it's a good chance to talk to younger musicians and kind of, you know, give them some advice if they need it.
The image side of it is quite interesting, and talking about creating. You mentioned Lady Gaga, who of course some would say, and I don't know whether it's her or it's a record company, but some would say, you know, is almost 70-80% image. And I actually have got a family member who's a professional musician and has worked with her and said you would not find a more accomplished musician out there. She's a fantastic musician.
She's incredible.
But what's she known for? Wearing a dress made of pork chops and a hat that looks like a telephone.
The fact that she's such a good pianist and composer herself is kind of hidden behind all that.
Is that a problem because of the way that we consume music now? We want an image. We want the overall experience, don't we?
I think the problem is people consume things so fast fast these days, and they almost need an image. It's quite sad actually, but it feels like people need an image to make it that little bit more interesting and unique. You know, it's
not enough to be talented.
Apparently not these days. It's a shame.
Did you just? I want to bounce something off you this morning because I've been moaning about this. Did you see Dolly Parton at Glastonbury? Did you see?
I didn't. I haven't watched it yet. I really want to see it.
She at one point, and there's a picture of her on the front page there. She picked up a guitar and started to pretend. She just like kind of picked it up and went like this with it, and then she did the same with the banjo, and then she went with the violin. Like, and I thought, what does that say about an accomplished artist? Like, does that bother you? What am I being?
Things like that bother me definitely.
That's all right, because otherwise kids think, I can play the guitar, I'll just pick it up and go like that, and away we go. So the schools tour, we mentioned, and the introducing stuff, I mean, it got you down to Abbey Road, didn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Tell us about that.
So they sent me down to Abbey Road for a masterclass, and it was at Abbey Road and Maida Vale Studio, so I spent a day down there listening to different lectures, people who already working in the music industry at a high level, and it was really, really helpful. I got a contact through that, a guy called Brian Higgins from Xenomania, and he is a part of a songwriting house in the UK that have wrote songs for Cher and Girls Aloud. They're responsible for all the Girls Aloud kind of songs. But yeah, falling off the back of that, I had an audition in London with them. So thanks to BBC Introducing for sending me down to Abbey Road. This audition came about and it went really well. So yeah, I had a great day. I learnt a lot and met a lot of other really awesome musicians as well.
It's just about getting in front of in the same room with the right people, isn't it? I suppose.
That's it.
Is a lot. I mean, that's when they talk about the luck in the industry. I suppose that's what they mean.
Right place, right time.
Future for you then? What does that look? I mean, you've got quite a few strings to your bow there. I mean, you've got writing, which you're obviously very passionate about. Is it? Can you let songs go? I mean, could you write for other artists? Could you write and say, there you go? I suppose you could when you get the check off PRS, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. But could you? Can you let go with that? And
I think I could. Certain songs, perhaps not, because I feel that they're almost mine in a way. I've been trying to write for other artists recently, and at the start I found it quite hard, but now I'm kind of getting into the routine of it and, just learning to write in different styles as well, which is another great thing to do. I'd encourage any other musician to, write outside of your genre as well, because it just, it just gives you more experience.
So you're learning, you're writing, you're encouraging and mentoring others with the schools tour as well, and you're performing, which is, if you had to pick one of those things, which is the most important to you right now?
Performing, definitely.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of performing, what have you got coming up? Where are you?
My next big gig is actually at a festival in Oxford. I'm supporting Tinchy Strider. It's called Astonbury.
As you do. Tell him I nearly bought some of his headphones the other day.
Oh, really?
Just he might want to mention it to him. It would have been another 50 quid in his pocket, I would have thought. And when you talk about supporting artists like that, does that fill you full of dread? What if they've just come here to hear? I mean, you couldn't get further from what you do and what he does, could you? Really?
I just kind of see it as a good opportunity to kind of play in front of his fans, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it. It's actually the first time I've supported somebody that has that higher profile. But yeah, tickets are on the Astonbury Festival website if anybody's interested in coming.
And the festival, then, we were just at Glastonbury, of course, and a lot of people do their sort of smaller festivals as well. It's a great opportunity. There seem to be more and more of these things springing up as well now. Are they good for? I mean, I know they're good for for people who want to do it, but I mean, are they good for artists as well? Do you enjoy the festival kind of?
I do, yeah. I enjoy a festival to go to. There's a lot of festivals these days that cater for all different kinds of artists. So you'll get your festivals that will have pop-up acoustic tents, and they'll cater for the local acoustic talent. And like Godiva Festival this year, it's looking great.
When are you doing Godiva?
I'm not doing Godiva this year. I'm a bit busy with this tour, but hopefully next year. Yeah.
I can see no reason why not. You're going to do another tune for us?
I am indeed, yeah.
What's this one called, the next one?
The next one's called Cherry on Top. You've got a sweet tooth. You only want what's bad for you. You're making your move. You're hungry for what I could do, leaving your tongue tight. I'll take you to the other side. Your body's designed to take it like a man tonight. getting blurry. It's ringing in my ears so loud. By 7:30 I'm ready for the second round. The second round. You, me and cherry wine. You got me feeling fine. It happens all the time. Love me or love me not, I don't want this to stop. I'll be a cherry on top, the only girl to make your eyeballs pop. The sweetest thing you ever caught. Come grab a taste while it's still hot. But I don't need a man who always thinks twice. I'm a combination of naughty and nice. Boy, if you want what I've got, I could be a cherry on top. Boy, I know you're missing out on something. I'll be the girl to keep your heartbeat jumping. Boy, I know you're missing out on something. I'll be the girl to keep your heartbeat jumping. I'll be a cherry on top, the only girl to make your eyeballs pop. The sweetest thing